where you get information about faith, lifestyle, school site, and all that jazz, everything in between, to be honest. It's definitely has been a while, a very, very long time. Pretty much, I've been busy moving, traveling, packing, unpacking, and packing again. And yeah, so I'm in my new home. So we're in the kitchen area since this is the only space I feel like I can record in. Because the space that I really want to record in has boxes. So yeah, we're gonna do with what we have until everything gets situated. So until then, this is my little space, my little space. It's a cute space. It's very farmsy space, and I like it. It's cute and rustic. It's lovely. But yeah, I do have my little drink. Is coconut water and mineral water mixed with some ice. Okay, so it has this pink hue. Apparently, the coconut is from Asia, Thailand. I like this brand of coconut water because it's just coconut water. I hate seeing where they mention sugar and all these other stuff. It's like it's coconut water. You get a coconut from the coconut tree, and you pour the water out. That's all you need. That's coconut water. You don't need much. And then I have my mineral water, sparkling, which is from Winn Dixie. So yeah, that's my drink. So if you see me sipping, it's what I'm sipping on. And yeah, I'm not sponsored by any of those brands or anything like that, but it's pretty good. And yeah, that's the only reason why my drink looked pink, because the coconut water has a pinkish hue to it from that container. So yeah, well, I am back here because I'm gonna do a little book study or a book club or whatever. Yeah, maybe a book club. Some of the books I have read in the past and will be reading. So I have like a good selection of books I'm gonna be reading, and it's like a good mixture. Like, I guess you could say self-help book, and others are like novels or memoirs and stuff like that. So other type of books, I think that's very interesting. But the stories within them or the content within these books are very helpful for you and for myself. And I thought it would be great to share because maybe someone else will like to read this book and gain some inspiration from it or information from it that can actually help the individual lives. So today's book, please forgive. This book is well read, well loved. Water actually spilled on it. Yeah, like whenever I'm driving my car, somehow my water bottle always spills because I don't close it properly. But yeah, so the book itself is the Single Girl's Guide to Marrying a Man, His Kids, and His Ex-Wife, Becoming a Stepmother with Humor and Grace. Ooh, fancy, right? So, just a little backstory for this book. I read this book because I was in a dating process with this guy who I ended up discovering he was divorced and he actually had children. But learning that information as a single woman, it's like, let's move on to the next one, you know? But I was actually curious to get to know him a little bit more and just to know him as an individual and stuff like that. So my friend, Tony, hey girl, hey, suggested to me to read this book right here because she kept saying that it's a lifestyle change. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like in my It didn't fully register, and I think she knew it didn't fully register, which is okay. Thank you for the love. You know, we're daydreaming over here. Not all times, but sometimes. But she keeps saying it's a lifestyle change. I was like, yeah, it's a lifestyle change. I mean, like, it's a guy, he has kids. When you come together, it's gonna be different, of course, because there's kids involved, and then you're interacting with the guy. Like, I mean, I experienced this, not like as a child. Like, my mom was the single parent, and she married my stepfather. He wasn't a single parent, but he was a divorcee, and he actually had kids as well from his previous marriage, but they came together, so it was a blended family situation for me. So I was like thinking about, well, I know the process is like in the background, but the only thing is I'm a single woman, so I don't have any kids. I am free. free to travel, go where I please. I can wake up when I want, whatever time I want, go where I want, stay up late as long as I want. And if I want to book a flight to go somewhere just because, I can do that, because it's just me, myself, and I, you know. And you know, if anyone want to join along, you can join along on this party too. Hey. But yeah, pretty much knowing that, like, growing up into that is definitely different from actually experiencing that. And I was really glad and thankful that she suggested this book for me to read, because during that dating process, I was thinking to myself, I don't want to learn and go, and too bad my mom died, so she won't be able to implore her wisdom into me and everything like that, and her experience and stuff like that. I had Tony, and I also had some other women to get advice from and suggestion from, and to grow and to lean towards that. But I also took the time to have like a prayer to God and let him know, like, listen, as I mentioned, I don't want to learn and go. I really don't. So for that individual and I, we did broke up, but it was okay. I mean, it was bittersweet. He was a really nice guy. He was a good guy. Good guys exist. But I ended up getting this book after the breakup, or while we were dating. I'm not sure the timeline. But I got the book and I decided to read it. And even though we broken up, I decided to finish it, because you never know. You never know when you end up with that type of opportunity again. And I thought that it's good to know. And I learned a good amount from this beautiful writer who wrote this book, because she actually ended up marrying a man with 2 boys, and she write about her experience, and then she also has some other ladies friends who got married to a man who have children as well, and write about like how to interact with the ex-wife, holidays, finance, having your own biological child with this man, and you know, knowing that he has previous children, how to engage in conversation with that, and not to become the evil stepmother, you know, because it could happen. And so yeah, I really think that this is a great book to read, no matter your age, 20s all the way to your 50s or whatever. It's a really good book to read, to understand that type of dynamic, especially if you never dated someone with kids before, or diving into something new, especially if you are a single woman with no children and you are free as a bird. You do as you please. And then all of a sudden you meet this guy, your Prince Charming, and he has kids. You know, you learn about his baggage, but you realize, you know, he's worth it. And you guys jump the broom and stuff like that. And yeah, this is a great way to prepare for that. It's a good book. So this book, for this lovely, I think call it a book club. But yeah. I'm just gonna share my thoughts. Pretty much I enjoy reading this because it was an easy read. The author was very witty. I was chuckling, laughing. Certain things that she stated in the book, and there were certain topics that really it pulled on my heartstrings. I mean, finance. You try to tell me you marrying this guy who has an ex-wife, and there's a good chance you have to pay a certain amount to this woman, and it might come out of my pocket, my hard-earned money. Excuse me. No. I'm at a place where like your debt is your debt. I know. When I read that, I was like, your debt is your debt. I'm sorry, I was not part of that marriage. Hey. But yeah. It took a while for me to get back to the book to finish it. Once I hit the finance chapter, I was like, oh no. Oh no. She went there. But yeah, also I like the fact that she's very straightforward, and she just provides you with many examples in this book, especially the different types of ex-wife avatars. That's what I'm gonna call them. Ex-wife avatars. I will go over it, like the various types of personalities. Okay, maybe not avatar, but personalities of ex-wives you may encounter, and how to approach. In Haitian Creole, we have a word for it's not oule, but diriger. So pretty much how you handle these ladies, and knowing what type you have and how to handle them. So yeah. Pretty much you're the handler. Okay. Let me stop. You may not think that's funny, but yeah. So yeah, what did I learn from this book? I'm just looking at my notes that I jot down for a little bit. I learned that it will not be a fantasy marriage of having a husband of your own because he has baggage. And especially, this actually is written for, it says single women guide, obviously. So you're a single woman, no children. Your womb has not been held hostage for any man. I'm sorry. No. But yeah, she dived in. Oh my gosh, let me stop. Hopefully I edit. Let me not. I'm not going to take out the womb part. But the whole extra laughter, I might edit that out. But who knows? I might keep it in. Keep it raw, unedited. But yeah, like she really just dived into it and letting you know, like, what to expect, Especially how my friend mentioned that it's a lifestyle change. Like, it's a lifestyle change. You are a single woman with no kids. This man has kids. It's a lifestyle change, especially for him getting divorced. That is a lifestyle change for him as well. He went being in a household where he has a wife and his kids, and there's routines and stuff like that, and there's systems that's put into place, and that's broken. And that is a different experience for this individual, especially for a man that's been divorced, or we're dealing with the man that's been divorced. I can't get into the other type of men with children that never been married before. We're not gonna get into that. But But yeah, it is a lifestyle change. It's totally different. It's a different dynamic for this individual itself. And to understand, like, you're going from being single and free. As I mentioned before, you can do what you want, catch a flight tomorrow if you feel like it, and be in a tropical place if you feel like it, spending your own coin, your own money, and take your PTOs off and know when you come back to work, to your life. But when you marry into a family set, a man that with kids, it can't be that way. And learning about the finance part, as I mentioned, for that financial decision. I step away. As I mentioned before, I step away from the book for several weeks. I step away from this book. I did not finish this book until July. So several months. Several months went by before I could finish this book because of the financial part. I was like, oh my, I don't know. I really don't know. My happy water, coconut water dance is so good. You should make it, honestly. Coconut water and mineral water. But for me, I like to put 80% coconut water and 20% mineral water. Because I'm not a big fan of the carbon, but I'm only drinking it because I just need the extra minerals in my body since I'm a bit dehydrated for going to a tropical place. My vacation's still a little dehydrated. So I need to restore all of the hydration. But yeah, also setting, I like how she mentioned about the different boundaries you need to set with an ex-wife, and also the different types. Okay, I'm not going to use the avatar, but the different personalities of ex-wives you may encounter. I'm just going to read a few. I was like, oh my. So these are the ex-wife types. These are just a few. You have the poor me, poor you. So she's just a woman that can't let go. Let go of the fact that she got divorced. Let go of the fact that her husband is gone. Let go of the fact that the family structure is different now. There's two separate households. She is the poor you. She's the more traditional person. She likely stay at home with the kids when she and your husband that you are married to. Even after years of being divorced, she still depends on your husband. That part got to me. I'm like, what? What? You still depend on him? Like, you need him to come over and fix your sink, your faucet, to unclog your drain or something like that. Yeah. There's another one is how she even give you examples how to handle the poor me personality, how to spot the poor me personality. There's another one is called the psycho ex-wife. She called Pew. So this is your stereotypical crazy psycho ex-wife. So pretty much the name is very self-explanatory. And I just like how she just give you examples. But she went in on the pew. She went in like how to be that sassy stepmother to deal with the pew. Because that one will be a pain. You have like the good mother, the cool cucumber, the abstinista mom. She's not there all the time. That was the guy I was dealing with. She only pop in, and when she pop in, she's like the cool mom. and then you don't hear from her again. It's like, whoa. Oh my. But yeah. I really do like the fact that she provides you with those different examples, how to spot that and how to deal with those situations, deal with those different types of personalities. Then we also have like different types bonding with your kids, bonding with your stepkids, because even though you will bond with them and everything like that, there is a moment in time where the stepkids, especially if they're very, very, very young, you know, the toddlers, the that the 6-year-olds, the ones that they're the truth tellers. They tell you how they truly feel. They have no filters or whatever. They will let you know who you are. They will embarrass you. Like, they'll let you know, like, oh yeah, that woman is not my mommy. That's not my mommy. She's the other woman, you know, give you a different title and stuff like that. Make it seem like you are having an illegal relationship with the father, but really you're not. Kind of a deal. Also, understanding discipline practices with the child. I really like how she discussed about having this discussion with the husband, but I feel like that's something you should have like prior dating, especially if you guys become very, very serious with one another about the discipline aspect, because there are certain things you will not agree upon and you'd be like, no, we that needs to be nipped in the bud. No, not like that, you know. But having that conversation with the husband as to how things are done, because obviously he and the ex-wife had a system. Hopefully they had a system. Maybe they didn't. It could have been one of the issues that they have as to how to discipline the children. Another thing is she just shared like having that discussion, making sure you guys have a united front with one another, creating a contract. I thought this is absolutely brilliant because it's like a behavioral contract. If you're a teacher, you know. And you just letting them know like, hey, this is what the expectation is from you, and these are the expectations from us. These are some of the consequences, the rewards, and everything like that. And both parties signs, parents, you know, dad sign, new moms, that mom sign, and the kiddos sign as well. And you posted it, you know, so that way they see it. These are the rules. These are the laws and regulations. These are the consequences when you do not follow the rules. And these are the rewards. Some of the rewards that you get for following the rules. So that way you know and you expect, you know what's going to happen in your household and the expectation, which is totally cool. Another thing is the boundaries with the ex-wife, because she gave a very funny tale about how the ex-wife will overstep her bounds and buy groceries to place in her home with her husband for what the kids could eat, because they should only have like dairy-free milk or whatever, not no milk that come from the cow or stuff like that. And this kind of, it pissed her off, because it's like, listen, I'm a woman. I fed myself, you know. I mean, I survived this long. I mean, your guy been with me for X amount of time. Your kid's been here too. They haven't died, you know. So chances are she can buy food for them to eat, you know. And the kids are accustomed to certain things. So if they don't like, you know, dairy milk, and they like a certain type of brand of milk, chances are she's gonna get that certain type of brand of milk. And it will be right next to her moo milk because that's the milk that she drinks. Simple as that. But it's just a great way to she had to have the conversation with her husband to let the ex-wife know she had no rights to do that. So setting firm boundaries, and for the husband to understand you need to set those firm boundaries as well. And also another thing is that the guilt factor, because the husband will feel guilty that caused he's one of the individual that broke the home for the children per se, so therefore he might try to overcompensate and allow certain type of behaviors to happen with the kids that shouldn't be happening, even though yes it's a broken home situation, but now he's with someone else and the kids are going back and forth. So that's like another conversation to have, like, listen, we can't be doing this, and being able to recognize those behaviors and the husband, and understanding why he is being that way with the kiddos and stuff like that. But at the same token, it's like, listen, kids need boundaries. They need rules and regulation in order for them to function appropriately in this household, and for them to be, you know, great citizens, great individuals when they become adults one day as well. So you have to have that implemented for them. And another thing she touched upon are the holidays, celebration, vacations. Knowing that other household, the mom may have one type of tradition that they have in the household themselves, and they may want to continue to carry on with these things, like the homemaker mom that likes to have the Thanksgiving dinner, everything cut out, done. So everyone has to go to her house for every Thanksgiving and holidays and stuff. So for her, she actually shared, like, there is a tradition that the mom do all the bio mom, I should say, the biological mom will always have all the birthday celebrations, and instead of her partaking, she does go. I think there was one time she did not. She noticed that they just treat her differently, so she did not attend the birthday celebrations anymore. But what they do, the kids will have their birthday celebration, and then after, it's like the next day, there will be another celebration with the family household, like a special breakfast or something like that for the kiddos to celebrate their birthday. I believe it was a birthday, or it could be like a different holiday celebration or something like that. But yeah, she even talked about money. I did briefly got into that, like the whole money situation. That is like one of the number one reason why people get divorced is financial reasons. So yeah, finance is a big deal. That is something you need to talk about. Like, whoever you're getting into a relationship with, marrying with, and you're being serious, like, finance is a big deal. Like, how are we gonna deal with this? Like, also, if you're an individual that have a lot of assets, um, like, how are these assets are gonna be utilized in the marriage? Would you have a prenup? What to do if you guys grow certain assets together, like how that be regulated, how that's going to be used and stuff like that. What budget would you guys have? Will you have like one account that's going to be used to pay all the bills, and both of you guys just funnel money into that account so that way everything be taken care of and stuff like that? So just having those important conversations. Doesn't matter if you guys are both single and childless, or he has kids and you're a single woman, or maybe you're a single woman with a kid and he's a single man with a kid. Like, whatever it is, it's always good to have that type of conversation with one another. And then she also discussed about having your own children with your husband, so you can become a bio mom as well. And I like how she discussed this, like, having that type of conversation with your husband is very important, especially like before you get married and everything like that. Maybe, you may not want it, but after a while you change your mind, be like, you know what, I want my own little goober, a little one. to. But how do you engage in those type of conversation with them? How to bring it up with him? Because chances are he'll be like, I'm fine, I'm done, I don't want any more. But there are like, she just provided different strategies, which I thought was really great. And also she shared like the impact it will have on the family dynamic itself. Sometimes it could be a positive change, sometimes it could be a negative change, especially when you're dealing with his previous children from the previous marriage. So that could actually have an impact on how they will view your child or the new individual that's coming in, because you know it does take it does impact a child, especially if you're getting married to someone else. Sometimes the marriage itself can impact the child and make them feel like, oh, they're not loved, mom doesn't want them or dad doesn't want them anymore and everything like that. You have to look over that and reassure the child, like, listen, you're still a very important individual. Things are just changing and just working towards that. So that's something to have. But yeah, so those are my thoughts for this book, and I do recommend any lovely ladies, no matter if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, or whatever age you are, who has never been married before, to actually read this book. It's a good one. Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I totally recommend this book to anyone to read, especially if you're just single. You may not be dating a guy with kids, but just read it for yourself. Like for me, it was a really great eye-opening experience, because I'm not into the whole learn as you go kind of idea. I like to be prepared, like have some idea as to what to expect, or at least have a network of individuals that I can glean to, that can actually assess me with this, so I can have a better understanding as to what to expect. So yeah, so that is my first book review. And I really think that this was a really awesome read, as I mentioned before, and I hope this is something that you enjoy. If you have read this book, tell me like what's something that stood out to you that you enjoy reading. Did it actually help you to make the decision to move forward with your guy? Or did you read this book after you got married? Oh, I forgot to mention, she actually provided like a resource, like several books to read for those individuals, in blended family, for finance, for all the different topics that she was discussing in this book itself, which was amazing. So yeah, I think that it's great to be prepared and to be knowledgeable, like as in the Bible state, we perish for a lack of knowledge. Yes, I know it deals with the fact that there are certain things in the Christian faith that most of us are not knowledgeable, which cause us to perish, and it has a negative adverse effect on our lives compared to when we are knowledgeable about our faith and we're knowledgeable as to what you can and cannot do. That actually has a better impact on your life. So read this book and I hope it helps you out. And if you have read this book, just write, how this actually helped you. Did you decide to move forward, not to move forward? Or did you read this book when you were married to your lovely guy and it just provided better insight and help you with your marriage? Maybe it was rocky a little bit at first, and this actually helped you smooth it out a bit more. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. All right, I'll see you next time. Hopefully I won't be taking this long. Hopefully, because I actually have some other books that I want to